الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. يا أيها المزمل قم الليل إلا قليلا نصفه أو انقص منه قليلا أو زد عليه ورتل القرآن ترتيلا إنا سنلقي عليك قولا ثقيلا إن ناشئة الليل هي أشد وطئا وأقوم قيلا إن لك في النهار سبحا طويلا واذكر اسم ربك وتبتل إليه تبتيلا رب المشرق والمغرب لا إله إلا هو فاتخذه وكيلا واصبر على ما يقولون واهجرهم هجرا جميلا وذرني والمكذبين أولي النعمة ومهلهم قليلا إن لدينا أنكالا وجحيما وطعاما ذا غصة وعذابا أليما يوم ترجف الأرض والجبال وكانت الجبال كثيبا مهيلا إنا أرسلنا إليكم رسولا شاهدا عليكم كما أرسلنا إلى فرعون رسولا فعصى فرعون الرسول فأخذناه أخذا وبيلا فكيف تتقون إن كفرتم يوما يجعل الولدان شيبا السماء منفطر به كان وعده مفعولا إن هذه تذكرة فمن شاء اتخذ إلى ربه سبيلا الله سمع الله لمن حمده الله 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 الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. إن ربك يعلم أنك تقوم أدنى من ثلثي الليل ونصفه وثلثه وطائفة من الذين معك والله يقدر الليل والنهار علم أن لن تحصوه فتاب عليكم فاقرؤوا ما تيسر من القرآن علم أن سيكون منكم مرضى وآخرون يضربون في الأرض يبتغون من فضل الله وآخرون يقاتلون في سبيل الله فاقرؤوا ما تيسر تيسر منه وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة وأقرضوا الله قرضا حسنا وما تقدموا لأنفسكم من خير تجدوه عند الله هو خيرا وأعظم أجرا واستغفروا الله إن الله غفور رحيم. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله 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 السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وصليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Last week we spoke about the sacrifices of our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they are many, too many to even count. In fact, there are so many sacrifices of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that they have been put into book form. Entire books have collected the sacrifices of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and there are many compilations, many books, even on the tears of our Prophet Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. On what occasions our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam shed tears. There's also books on the occasions of when our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam smiled. So these are very unique opportunities for us to, of course, we study the Seerah. There are many attempts in our lifetime where scholars have even made videos, and the general population, the masses, have benefited from these videos to give them a glimpse into the Seerah of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the Seerah is such a subject that the more we study it, the more we read it and appreciate it, we want to learn more, and we want to allow ourselves the opportunity to get to know our Prophet ﷺ a little more. People who don't have the opportunity to read on a daily basis, they mention regarding these videos on YouTube, and many well-qualified scholars throughout the world, in all languages, Arabic, English, in our native language, they have made these videos on the Seerah. Some people who watch those videos, they mention that when I complete it and I start over again, I catch certain points and certain things that I missed the first time. So the Seerah is such a topic, it's not like any other topic that, for example, the topics that we study in school or colleges or universities, when we read it once, we don't want to read it a second time. It's boring the second time. So the Seerah takes on the similarities of, even say, the Quran. The Quran is, you're able to read it repeatedly, and we will never get tired of it. So the Seerah is something similar to that. So if we just allow ourselves the opportunity to study and appreciate the sacrifices of our Prophet ﷺ, it will give us a deep appreciation of what our Prophet ﷺ strived for. And after all, his striving and his mission was to convey the message, the responsibility placed on him by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And not only were his generation witness to the fact that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam fully fulfilled his responsibility, but we as future generations also testify to the fact that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam completely and fully, wholeheartedly conveyed and completed his mission, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So last week, just a reminder, when we spoke about some of the sacrifices of our Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's economic situation. We mentioned that his economic situation was by choice, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him a choice that do you want to live as a prophet king, or do you want to remain as a humble servant? And we mentioned that prophets of the past, some of them were not given a choice of their economic situation, such as there were prophet kings, King Dawood alayhi salam, King Sulaiman alayhi salam. These were prophet kings. We have the history before us. We have the opportunity to read in the Quran how they lived. They controlled entire kingdoms, not only human, jinn, the animal kingdom. Sulaiman alayhi salam. And we know the story of Dawood alayhi salam after he defeated Jalut and what came afterwards. So that was their life, that they were not given a choice that do you want to live as a prophet king, but rather Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it so that that was their life. There was also very humble prophets who lived economically a challenging life, such as Yahya alayhi salam, Isa alayhi salam. They were not very high on the economic spectrum, meaning living in lavish and luxuries. So the examples are there, that they were not given a choice, That's how they were. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it so that they lived their life according to that. But our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a very unique opportunity that an angel came, conveyed salam to Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and mentioned that if you wish, entire mountains can be transformed into gold for you. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam made a consultation, a mashwara with Jibreel Ameen. What do I do? What do you suggest? And Jibreel Ameen, he pointed that rather it's better for you to humble yourself and choose Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rather than the riches and the luxuries of this world. That was last week, we covered that. Today, inshallah, we'll go over very quickly before the breakfast regarding, let's start off with the bedding, the bed of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There has been attempts and efforts made to sort of make a 3D image of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's house. And it's nothing in comparison to our homes nowadays. 2,000 square feet, 3,000, 4,000 square feet. Rather, if you look at the 3D depictions of the home of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it's rather one room. One room, 4 walls. The roof is made out of date palm fibers. And the 3D imagery, again, it's not a perfect attempt. It's an attempt to allow us to see how Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And of course, they take it from the narrations, such as the narration of Umar radiallahu anhu. On one occasion, our leader, Amir al-Mu'mineen, Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, he visited Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and upon visiting Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, began to cry on seeing Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam's condition. And what was that? None other than witnessing the bedding of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. On the wall there was maybe a leather pouch for water benefit. The pillow and the bedding was such that when Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was laying down and he sat up. And when Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam sat up to meet and greet Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, there were marks on his side. There were marks on Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam's side of his body, and Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, he began to cry. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he mentioned to him that Ma yubkik, فقلت يا رسول الله إن كسرى وقيصر فيما هما فيه وأنت رسول الله. فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أما ترضى أن تكون لهم الدنيا ولنا الآخرة. After crying, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam inquired from Umar that why are you crying? What causes you to cry? And Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, he mentioned to Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam that, Ya Rasulullah, the emperors of the Roman Empire, the emperors, the rulers of the Persian and the Roman Empire, we know what type of luxurious life they're living, and you are Rasulullah. You are Rasulullah, and this is your condition. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam comforted Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu by saying that, aren't you happy that they have the dunya, and for us exclusive is the akhirah. Exclusively the akhirah is for the believers. So we learn from this, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is opting and choosing this lifestyle. But it does not go against the fact, as believers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us in the Quran a balance to this. Of course, we want to imitate Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam in every aspect of his life sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But living a life of luxury and riches, it does not go against the Sunnah. There are many verses that give us that. For example, وَلَا تَنْسَ نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا وَأَحْسِنْ كَمَا أَحْسَنَ اللَّهُ إِلَيْكَ. This verse gives us a comforting notion that regarding our life in this worldly life, that don't forget your share of this worldly life. After all, you need to work, you need to, of course, you will gain riches and you will gain sort of climbing the ladder of the economic the economic ladder. This will happen, this is natural. So going and living comfortably is not something against the sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Many other verses gives us this comfort as well that يا بني آدم خذوا زينتكم عند كل مسجد وكلوا واشربوا ولا تسرفوا إنه لا يحب المسرفين. This verse and the next verse قل من حرم زينة الله التي أخرج لعباده والطيبات من الرزق قل هي للذين آمنوا في الحياة الدنيا خالصة يوم القيامة. This verse also gives us that very notion that to beautify ourselves, and every opportunity we go to the masjid, we should beautify ourselves with clothing. And also regarding food and drink, consume, eat and drink, but don't be excessive, don't be wasteful in that category. And finally, we conclude that if living a life of luxury and living a life of riches was against the sunnah, then we find examples of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum who were living during the generation of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and they were very wealthy individuals, such as Sayyidina Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, Sayyidina Uthman radiallahu anhu, Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. They had tremendous amounts of wealth. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam never prevented them from that. Rather, the rich and the wealthy companions, when they contributed towards many part of early Islam, especially the expeditions and the battles, these single companions single-handedly contributed so much that that very battle or the expedition, they were able to make it because of the contribution of the rich and the wealthy companions, Sahaba radiallahu anhum ajma'in. So we just wanted to give ourselves that balance, that both lifestyles are from the Sunnah, they are examples, we find it in the Seerah, and there is nothing wrong so long as it is through, of course, so long as the income is through halal means and is being spent on halal. This is very common sense things, but after all, we need a reminder from time to time. So again, today, there are entire books. Maybe I'm able to cover this topic this week, and Sheikh Nafis will be back by next week from his travels. So we just wanted to give ourselves that opportunity that let us study these books regarding the Seerah, regarding the life of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It will allow for us to appreciate him sallallahu alaihi wasallam that much more. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala build a strong bond and strong love for our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in our hearts and minds. And may we also allow for others to build love for Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Thank you.